it's Friday. Yes, we should be outside celebrating. Well, thank you all so much for attending my annual Earth Month celebration. So this year is a little different for a number of reasons. One, we're doing it outside of Earth Month, but it also underscores that Earth Month is every month because we only have one planet, right, that we can inhabit. Yes, that was supposed to be a joke and also serious. Yes, but also this year we changed the program a little bit because I also wanted to lift up the generational connections for Earth Month. So I want to thank you all so much for making time to be here this afternoon. So we will get started. So when I first took this particular position, one of the things that was always important to me, even well before being in the Senate, is the work to ensure that we continue to have a planet that goes beyond our time, most certainly for the next generation, but also that we do all that we can to protect, to preserve our health, and also some of the most beautiful natural resources that we have here in the Southern Tier, most certainly in our great state. And Earth Month is always a great time to remind us of why it's important to not only preserve and protect the planet, because we are also connected in that way as well. And so it is imperative that we, as we continue to create a more sustainable future, we have to start with ensuring that our communities are healthy and they can thrive. And so today's celebration, and it is a celebration, that's why we have music and refreshments as well. I want to lift up all of these great leaders who are working every day, not seeking any type of amplification, meaning looking for award or recognition, but these leaders are folks in our communities that are doing the work because they care. And that is always important to me with these celebrations, and so I'm always looking for those great public servants, and that's why all of you are here today, so please give yourselves a round of applause. So, to start our event this afternoon, I want to acknowledge and also thank my staff for all of the work they've done to make this program this afternoon a possibility. Can you please join me in thanking my staff for all the hard work? So now that we know we can all clap and keep that going. So my first honoree or person I want to recognize, this is a posthumous recognition, and it goes to the late, and I would say great, Dr. Richard or Dick Andrus. I had the pleasure of having Dick Andrus not only as a professor at Binghamton University and an alum, but also as someone who not only had a just engaging smile and warm heart, but worked very hard to educate not only students but community members about the great resources that exist in our community and beyond. And he is someone who his impact is still felt to this day. And I just want to share a little bit about him for those who may not know who he is. And so Professor Andrus was a botanist by training who began teaching at Binghamton University in 1973, where he founded the Environmental Studies program. He retired from Binghamton University in 2018 and unfortunately passed away in 2020 at the age of 78 from cancer. For anyone that knew Professor Andrus knew that he was a very serious botanist, but he also liked to have a lot of fun. And so he was always lending his expertise, not just here in our community, but also he was sought after as a global expert in areas of study with respect to botany, including bog mosses, particularly sphagnum, which plays an important role in ecosystems and in fixing carbon. He was also a taxonomist, identifying and categorizing different species, and he traveled the world to collect previously undescribed species of sphagnum, and he ultimately donated his collection to Duke University. Anyone ever been to the Nature Preserve at Binghamton University? Show of hands. And if you haven't, I encourage you to go when it's a little warmer. But His work helped to shape the nature preserve by working with researchers to protect the environment and encourage the local food movement in our community. But he was also a devoted family man. So some of the organizations he was instrumental in supporting and developing with respect to our county here in Broome food movement, specifically VINES, or Volunteers Improving Neighborhood Environments, which those of you who have heard of VINES, again, they're a great organization that work on developing green spaces for food and other sustainable practices. He was also someone that led the charge when I was on city council to make the city of Binghamton a tree city. And so in addition to community gardening, he was also planting trees, literally. And he also did this at his home. So anytime you went to his house, and you can still see it right on the south side of Binghamton, if you ever went over there, you would see his expansive garden. And he was also very committed to the youth. And so that's one of the many things about Professor Andrus that still remains true today through the work of the organizations that he had supported. And so accepting his award on his behalf, please join me in welcoming his daughter, Alexis Andrus, and his son, Eric Andrus. Please join me in welcoming them. And so, this is a commendation award. Again, although it's posthumous, but a commendation award is the highest award that we can give to individuals in our community through the state senate. And so, again, your father was someone who still, his legacy still lives on through all of you and through all of the things that I mentioned and more. So thank you all for being here, and please share some remarks if you would like to. No pressure.
Thank you. Alexis and I, both Binghamton kids. I live in Vermont now, but really proud to accept this award on behalf of our father, and to share the room with the rest of you, equally devoted to the Southern Tier and the City of Binghamton and causes of environmentalism and sustainability. Thank you, Senator Webb, for making this happen.
And I would also be remiss if I didn't mention your mother, who was a force to be reckoned with, Miss Jane, okay? Yes. Also very influential. Could we please give them another round of applause? Okay, our next honoree is Dr. Aloja Aurelia, and if I said your name incorrectly, please correct me, I'm all about that. So, Dr. Aloja is the program leader of the Energy Warriors Initiative at Cornell Crabbe Extension in Ithaca. So we're going from Broome, now we're going to Tompkins County. How many have heard of the Energy Warriors program? Okay, let me tell you a little bit more about it. So this is a pioneering program that provides environmental literacy and work readiness training for individuals who are looking to build not only careers, but dignified careers in the clean energy sector. We know here in the Southern Tier, we are leading the way in green energy in a multitude of ways. Yes, you agree as well. And so the work that Dr. Aloja is doing is helping in that effort. This initiative is a model for creating equitable pathways into the green economy, especially for underserved communities across the Southern Tier. She is a physician and longtime community organizer. She worked closely with the late Dr. Dorothy Cotton, who was a civil rights leader and close associate of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm saying she. My apologies, Aloja. In 2015, he participated in the historic congressional bipartisan pilgrimage to Selma, Alabama, commemorating Selma at 50 alongside the late Congressman and proprietor of Good Trouble, Congressman John Lewis. Y'all know who he is, right? Okay, I just want to make sure y'all still with me. What's also important to Aloja is family, and he is joined by his wife, who's a professor, Professor Peggy Soyinka Areli. Am I close?
I don't win.
Okay, close. In Ithaca. Together they are active voices for justice, human rights, and civic engagement. Now, awards are something that are common, but when you get high notable awards, it's important to lift up. So, Aloja was named a New York Times Climate Forward Changemaker for his groundbreaking work connecting climate resilience with workforce development. Your work powerfully reminds us that we have no spare planet. Remember when I talked at the beginning of our celebration that we only have one planet that we can currently inhabit? Well, you definitely agree. And so making our communities climate resilient was the work of yesterday. It is the work of today and will be the work of tomorrow. Dr. Aloja, your work exemplifies the intersection and the importance of climate justice, workforce equity, and civil rights. We appreciate you, and please join me in welcoming Dr. Aloja Areli for a commendation award for service.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Senator Webb. And I am here, not really sure how I got here, but I have my wife here, Professor Patient Kairawele, my youngest daughter, Yolore, and some of my colleagues. Peter is here, and a few other people that I know. I'm very encouraged to know that I have representatives who are focused on the fact that this planet is the only one we have. And I thank you so much for that. And I thank the rest of you for what you do. My simple contribution is from the lesson I've learned from other people, from Dorothy Cotton and from members of my family, that it makes sense to solve this problem that we have created with a sense of dignity, sense of commitment. It's ours. I have never known climate to ask people, do you believe in me? And if you don't believe, they skip your house during a tornado. I don't know if any of you have seen that. You don't need to believe in it. It's not something you need to be baptized. It's real. If you want to deny it, well, I'll take you to a few of the sites I went to during Hurricane Ike or Hurricane Katrina. So I want to thank you all in joining hands. Let's do what we can. Let it be said that we did the best that we can. Thank you so much.
Our next honoree is Dr. Peter Bardaglio. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Peter. We're staying in Tompkins County. So Dr. Peter Bardaglio serves as the Executive Director of the Ithaca 2030 District, which is a part of a broader network spanning 24 cities. Okay, so small work, all right. 24 cities across the US and Canada dedicated to improving energy and water efficiency in commercial buildings. We know a lot about the need to have access to clean water here in the Southern Tier for sure. In this role, he's helping to shape a more sustainable built environment. He also coordinates the Tompkins County Climate Protection Initiative, where his leadership has been central to efforts to cut greenhouse gas emissions through both energy efficiency upgrades and renewable energy projects. Dr. Bardaglio's commitment to community and education isn't anything new. It has been long-standing. He is a founding member of the board for New Roots Charter School and co-founded the Groundswell Center for Local Food and Farming. He remains actively involved on both boards and also serves on the board of Eco Village at Ithaca, which is a nationally recognized model for sustainable living. He's also a trustee emeritus at the Paleontological Research Institution and Museum of the Earth, reflecting his deep and varied contributions to science, education, and public engagement. Prior to dedicating himself full-time to climate and sustainability work, and I tip my hat to you on this as well, spent 24 years in higher education. I felt like there was a collective like, ooh. His academic career included positions as a history professor, a dean, a provost at both Goucher College and Ithaca College. Now, Dr. Peter did not want to stop there. He is also an accomplished author. He co-authored Boldly Sustainable: Hope and Opportunity for Higher Education in the Age of Climate Change. He has also written extensively on climate issues, linking academic insight with real-world environmental solutions. Your career bridges scholarship, community leadership, and climate advocacy, and you are a key figure in the movement towards a more sustainable future. Please join me in welcoming with a proclamation to Dr. Peter Bardaglio for this year's Earth Month celebration. So I'm just gonna read a couple of pieces of it because in government things can take a long time, but I won't do that today. But I want to lift up a particular piece. Whereas Dr. Peter Bardaglio has been a tireless advocate for his community, fighting to protect the earth through improving energy and water performance, and working to mitigate the impact of climate change at the local, state, and federal levels. It is further resolved that your recognition is exemplified and you are an outstanding asset not only to Tompkins County, but also to our state, and you are worthy of the esteem of our entire community in our great state of New York. Congratulations.
I want to thank Senator Webb for this honor, and also say it's just great to have somebody in Albany who is so committed to climate justice and sustainability, especially these days where things in Washington aren't going necessarily in that direction. So it's really important that we keep committed at the local and state levels. It's a real honor to be here in company of so many accomplished individuals. It's a collective effort, it's not an individual effort, so it's really terrific to be here with you. I also want to lift up the Park Foundation, who's supported my work since 2008. That's a long, long time. The Park Foundation is really the hero, I think, of sustainability in not just in Ithaca, but in Tompkins County and across the country. So I'm very grateful for their support, and I wanted to make sure that you heard that expression of thanks. And I think it's just been a long road to get here, but I do feel like we've been able to make a difference, and that's always important. I always used to tell my students in history classes that you need to figure out a way to not just be an object of history, but to be a subject in history, an agency of change and progress. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Kate Downs. So, Kate is, for those who may not know, I'm going to share a little bit more about her. Now we're going to Portland County. So Kate is a dedicated advocate for rural health, food systems, and reproductive justice, serving as a program manager at Seven Valleys Health Coalition, which is a rural health network in Cortland County. Kate has lived in Cortland County for nearly 8 years and brings a deep commitment to rural communities informed by years of work in agriculture and public health. Now, at Seven Valleys, Kate supports both food systems and perinatal health teams. We understand the direct link between food access and health outcomes, right? I know I'm talking to the right group, yes? I just want to make sure y'all still with me, okay. And she also plays a critical role in grant writing, which we know is a very important skill set to have, and of course, delivering community-centered programs. At the organization, Kate not only works on those issues, but also helps to lead the produce prescription program, which distributes no-cost produce boxes throughout Portland County. In addition to that, Kate holds a bachelor's degree in agricultural business from SUNY Cobleskill, shout out to SUNY, and a master's in sustainable agriculture and rural development from University College Dublin in Ireland. Kate was also a Class 18 Fellow in Cornell's prestigious Lead New York program. In addition to her professional work, Kate volunteers on the board of Homer Regional Farmers Market as well. She's also a proud member of a farming family, spending free time with their partner, 2 children, and pets, knitting, making maple syrup, and enjoying a good book. How do you find time? Please, we should talk afterwards. Kate, you are a shining example of what rural leadership looks like. You are grounded, community-driven, and deeply committed to building a healthier, more equitable system for all. Please join me in welcoming our next honoree, Kate Downs.
Thank you all so much. This is a deep, deep honor. I never could have imagined being here today without the support of my family, my friends, all the cheerleaders along the way. I mean, working in a rural community, having been raised in a rural community, it's a real deep honor to support Portland County folks where they're at, because we know that in rural communities there's a lot of things that are overlooked, and we like to help them out without requiring them to prove that they need it, and we get to meet them where they're at. Our produce prescription really gets to marry 2 of my deep loves of working with farmers and also giving people vegetables. And then our doula program, and ask anybody who knows me, give me 5 minutes in a place and I'm gonna find a baby to snuggle. So being able to support people during a really vulnerable time is also deeply rewarding and honoring. And it's just, it's so fulfilling. And in all the places that I've lived, and we've lived all over the world, I chose Cortland County as a place to buy my home, raise my kids, and you know, open a farmer's market tomorrow. And I'm constantly in awe of what our community is doing to support each other, especially in the state of the world that we're in. So thank you very much, Senator Webb, for being a champion for agriculture and rural health, and thank you all so much.
I know they weren't expecting this recognition, and that's why I like it even more. Everybody wasn't expecting it, but this particular honoree I know was not expecting to be recognized, and that is Christina Fuller. So I've had the chance to work with Christina in the state legislature in the office of one of my partners for all things good, Assemblywoman Donna Licardo. And what I came to learn about Christina, prior to working for Assemblywoman Donna Licardo, let's please give her a round of applause. She is also a longstanding environmental advocate. But Christina has been doing this for quite some time. So Christina is a shining example of youth leadership in sustainability and public service. While she was an undergraduate at Binghamton University, she founded the Binghamton Move Out Project. How many folks have heard of the Binghamton Move Out Project? That is a great project that takes all of the items that students accumulate and purchase during the semester and would often go to the garbage, TVs, dressers, those kinds of things, and brings them back to the community. And so this program, or this project, it's volunteer driven, and it diverts usable items from the landfill. And that, again, as I mentioned, that's accumulated during the student move-out season and redistributes them. And these are things that are barely used, and redistributes them to community members in need. And this was a brainchild of Christina's. And so this project still continues to this day, and it is continuing to make a meaningful impact. Christina earned a dual bachelor's degree in both psychology and human development, and went on to complete her master's in public administration, also from Binghamton University, with concentrations in nonprofit management and sustainable communities. During graduate school, Christina served as the farm share assistant at Vines, so bringing it back to Vines, which again is a great local organization working to create sustainable food systems in the Binghamton area and in Burke County. Her work there helped to connect community members with fresh, affordable produce and deepened her commitment to food equity. I already mentioned that she works for my partner in the state legislature, Assemblywoman Donna Lopardo, and she's still there to this day. She plays an active role, so when you see Donna, you will definitely see Christina. She has also served on the executive committee of the Susquehanna group of the Sierra Club since 2022, where she plays an active role in not only contributing ideas, but also carrying out the mission of the organization. Her leadership spans policy, environmental stewardship, and direct service to the community. And for these reasons and so many more, Christina, you exemplify a new generation of public servants committed to building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable communities across our great state. Please join me in welcoming Christina Fuller.
Hi everyone. Senator Webb, you were right. I definitely was not expecting this. And I first just have to say I love working with your office. I work so closely with all of you all the time, and it's such a blessing to have such a good working relationship with all of you. And speaking of working together, as all of us in this room know, when you're working towards any goal really, but especially, environmentalism, sustainability, it cannot be done alone. And I have some of my awesome team here who you'll hear more about in a little bit, but this, has come such a long way from when I did start it when I was a junior. It is so big now, and we're right in the thick of it now. We operate all of May collecting the items from students, and I'm happy to say that we've already surpassed last year's goal. We've reached 25,000 pounds of items this year. And all of that will go back into our community. So it really has a dual purpose. And as we know, so many things are intertwined. So it really is an honor to be recognized today. And I'd be remiss if, I didn't thank every single person that makes it happen, and all of you for, doing what you can in your corner of the world. So thank you so much.
All right. So our next honoree is Chris Harasta. Chris is a leader in campus sustainability and food systems innovation at Binghamton University. As a sustainability manager for University Dining Services, he integrates environmental responsibility into daily operations like reducing waste, improving efficiency, and engaging students and staff in sustainability efforts. Chris also serves as the volunteer logistics coordinator for the Binghamton Move Out Project. His leadership ensures that donated goods are recovered, sorted, and redistributed to local organizations. He has more than a decade of management experience in the food service industry, and Chris is known for his ability to lead teams, manage complex operations, and drive results. Chris's commitment to sustainability goes beyond his professional responsibilities. He also serves as a site coordinator at his local community garden, where he supports sustainable food production and builds community through hands-on engagement. Whether it is working to reduce food waste or improve resource recovery or strengthening our local food systems, Chris, you exemplify what it means to lead with purpose and work collaboratively toward a more greener and most certainly a more resilient and brighter future. Please join me in welcoming Chris Harasta to be recognized.
Thank you so much, Senator Webb. wow, there's such amazing people here. I'm feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome, gotta say. But it's been an amazing ride so far. And one thing I've come to realize is that everything takes a community. We have, just with the Move Out project, and thank you, Christina, for making that, by the way, we have seen like 150 individuals come together. And those like 25,000 pounds were all donated voluntarily by students. They went out of their way to do that. And it's amazing to see what people will do just when they're given the opportunity to, when something's presented to them in a way that they can digest. So, thank you to everybody in the community that's coming together to make these things happen. And thank you to my family for being here and supporting me, and for all the volunteers that are off just right over there on campus right now, doing stuff, measuring stuff and weighing donations and making sure it gets to the right people. So, thank you.
Okay, so our next set of honorees, we're going to switch it up a little bit because are y'all still okay? Everybody still all right? Okay, excellent. So I'm going to change the program just ever slightly because if you all remember at the top of our celebration, I mentioned that I really wanted to be even more intentional around connecting the next generation in our collective movement to protect and preserve our planet. And so since doing this program, we've always done what's called an Earth Day Showcase, where students across our Senate district can share what Earth Month means to them. So they can submit a poem, they can make a picture, they can write a story, however they choose to participate to demonstrate why the planet is so important to them. And so this year's theme was Our Power, Our Planet. And students submitted posters as reminders of why it's important to protect our planet, why it truly matters. And most of all, we know we're not going to be here forever, right? And so we have to make sure that our children know what to do to keep things moving forward in the most positive and impactful ways. So this year's program, I decided with my team to actually recognize all of the students right here as part of this celebration. And so I'm very excited. And so I'm going to call up, we have some incredible submissions that were rendered by all of the folks we're recognizing today. I also had the opportunity to go to Maine and Will School and give some of these certificates of recognition out as well. So I'm going to call everyone up and to have you join me. So I'm going to have Grace come, and then I'm going to call all of our youth honorees. So from Binghamton High School, can Samantha Francilis come on down? Samantha? And then from Shenango Forks Middle School, can we have Layla Lane? Layla, can you come on down? From Shenango Forks High School, can we have Michael Giovencio come down? Michael? Giovencio? It's Giovencio? Okay, my apologies, Michael. From DeWitt Middle School, can we have Venba Rajneesh come on down? From Dryden Elementary School, we have 3 students. We have Finian Fletcher. Please come on down, Finian. Hey, Finian. Hi. Oh, Finian. We have Arjun Diamond. Arjun, you come on down. Oh, okay. And then can we have Eli Gibbs, also from Dryden? Hey, Eli. From Vestal Hills Elementary School, can we have Ara Frazier come on down? Ara? And next, can we also have from Vestal Hills Elementary School, Olivia Sanders? Oh, we can do better than that, y'all. Can we give these students a round of applause? Absolutely. on the spot, but does anyone want to share briefly why you chose to participate with the contest? What did you do, and why did you decide to do it? Anybody want to share? No pressure. Yes, go ahead. I'm gonna come right by you. Come right by you. Can I come by you, Eva? It's okay. All right. You can bring my favorite color too. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. So I feel like you know, there's been a lot of like natural disasters lately. Sorry, I feel like it's really important to take care of the earth because we all live here, and like I don't really want to die. So like if we take care of the earth, we take care of it for like, you know, our future generations. You know, we maintain the health of for them. Sorry, not really good at giving speeches, but I think that that's important.
Hi, so I was just going to say that I participated because, and like you said, it's if we take care of the earth, we're helping our earth, since there's only one planet that we can live on, and right now it's Earth. So in like my opinion, there's been a lot of stuff that happened, and that it's not really good for our Earth. So if all of us, like, if the majority of us try to like have an impact on this Earth, then I believe that we could all make this Earth better and a better place for all of us to live here and our future kids and the future generations.
Take care of your seats. Thank you. Go right ahead. Thank you all so much for participating. Absolutely awesome. So, everybody still good? Yes. Okay. So, our next set of honorees, again, everyone here just continues to play such an impactful role. So our last couple of honorees I'm going to lift up. The next person in particular is someone I've had the pleasure of getting to know even more in my role in the Senate, and that is Bob. Bob Haight from the Portland Area Chamber of Commerce. So let me talk to you all about Bob. I know that sounds like a movie title, but it really is a movie, but it's something about Bob. Anyway, some people know what I'm talking about. Like, what movie is that? Well, Bill Murray, y'all know. Okay, I'll come back to on strength. Okay, so, Bob, I've had the pleasure of getting to know you and work with you, and learning even more about your work in food systems, the environment. But I'm going to talk to folks who may not be familiar with you about your work, not only in supporting small businesses, but also as someone who's been committed to agriculture and so much more. So, as the president and CEO of the Portland Chamber of Commerce, that chamber represents over 540 businesses and organizations across Portland County. Under Bob's leadership, the chamber has grown into an outstanding and dynamic voice for economic development, with a very clear focus on 4 key areas: early childhood education, housing, workforce development, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. With all of these priorities, one of the things that I'm still working on with Bob is especially something that's paramount to everything we do, and that is early childhood education, which is the Chamber's #1 legislative priority. So, Bob and his work at the Chamber continues to be impactful. The commitment began in 2013 when the Chamber was asked by the county's 3 largest early education centers who needed help with raising scholarship funds and to help support working families facing short-term hardships. And it was successful, and it sparked a lasting partnership and a much deeper understanding of the challenges that families and providers face. And so whether it's the work at the chamber, well, certainly Bob is someone that is committed to family, and I would be remiss if I didn't lift up your connection with your family, with your wife Heather, and your 10-year-old daughter Andy, which we know, Bob, which I'm just like, how do you find time? 'Cause I see you everywhere, but the work that you do through the chamber and with the staff, I know you don't do it by yourself. You have a great team, Jennifer, Debbie, and Nancy as well. You all work very hard to show the connection between environmental sustainability and business and so much more. So please join me in welcoming our next honoree, Bob, hailing from Portland. Please join me in welcoming Bob.
Thank you, Senator. I'm honored and humbled to be here and be on this program with the esteemed leaders that I get to share this evening with. I appreciate that. It's been wonderful getting to know you and work with you over the past handful of years. You've already talked a little bit about the chamber team. You know, we are very much a team. So I'm 25% of that process. We get to work with those businesses in Cortland. But I want to echo some things that my good friend Kate mentioned about Cortland County. She decided to move there to live, work, and raise her family, and has been an instrumental leader as well. But my love from Cortland goes all the way back to when I was in agriculture school at Cornell a few decades ago, and we met these kids from Portland State, had a blast with them. That was our first love, and you can imagine what that was like during your college years. More recently, 16 years ago, I lived just in Lafayette, and this position with the Cortland Chamber became available. Only because it was Cortland did I even think about applying for this position, and it has not disappointed. It is a very hardworking, loving, blue-collar community that has accepted me and my family, and the ideas that some crazy outsider might have on how we can move some things forward. So that has been absolutely wonderful. Thanks for mentioning my wife Heather. She and my young daughter Andy, but we have two older children too who have been super supportive. But now that you've done all that for me, I just want to quickly say a little bit about early childhood education, because one of the reasons why we've been talking much more lately. This is so important to us, and honestly, we have gotten this wrong for so long, and we're just part of a small group who's trying to get it right. I just returned with a New York delegation. We went up to Quebec and spent a few days there to look at what they have done, because they have universal early childhood education. They put a system in place without raising any new taxes. The government now collects more revenues than they put out in the expenses for the early education, and every child has a slot, and they are high quality. What the job that they are doing, and we got to see multiple centers, is absolutely wonderful for those kids. So that's what we're looking for, because in our mind, this started as a business initiative from our standpoint, because we're working with two generations of people. So today's workers who have children, those workers, if they don't have dependable, reliable places for them to be in those early years, those workers miss more time at work, they're tardy more, and while they're at work, they're less productive, because they're constantly thinking about their children and where they are. And those children that we put into those early education centers, that's our future workforce. If we do the right job with them now, they can help reach their potential. If we don't do the best job with them, they may never reach their potential. So it really affects two generations, and I've had a chance now too to sit down with some world-renowned economists to talk about the investments that are done in early education and how well they pay us back. Every single good thing happens when we invest money in our young children. So that's enough. Thanks for the soapbox. I appreciate it, and I love being here, and thank you for the award.